Frame 65 coming hot at you on a wonderful Thursday afternoon. We got our awesome guest, Mycopath, joining us. Before we get into who they are and what they're about, make sure to like, subscribe, comment. If you want to be a guest, get at us on ours, DM us, socials, email. Mycopath is on here. Why aren't you? You're a loser. Get on Gutterball. Gentlemen, tell the viewers what you're about. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing really good. Yes, my name is Paul. I play guitar in the metal band Mycopath.
And I'm Ken. I'm Paul's brother, and I do the vocals and bass for Mycopath.
Wonderful. We're so happy to have you guys on here.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a great
so
thank you guys for showing up. Really interested in this one because we have yet to have a band on, and I've always wanted like a band on. My girlfriend's cousin's in a Viking metal band called Volsunga Saga that plays locally here all the time. Like literally, we'll play like a block from where I live, and I'll just go over there, go to their shows, get piss hammered, walk home. It's a great time. And I've wanted to have them on. The problem is they're all like in their 40s and don't get technology, and they want to like do it in person, and I'm just like, we're not there yet. Gutterball's going to have a studio at some point, but I really appreciate you guys taking the time to dial in with us today and just kind of shoot the shit.
Jump into Song of the Week?
Yeah, let's jump into Song of the Week. So, Jack, do you want to go with your Song of the Week?
Yes. You guessed it, ladies and gentlemen. It's Rush again. Just kidding. Paul will not let me do Rush.
I would have turned this song.
You can do Rush. It's just you can't do Rush every single fucking week, dude. You just can't do it
because it matters to me.
Fair.
No, okay. It's actually Marilyn Manson. It's The Dope Show. One of the greatest rock songs of all time. Yes. I don't know about that. That's up in the air. But yeah, I just like that song. I've been vibing to that. Not really necessarily lyrical content, but more of just the beat and Marilyn Manson getting pissed at people. So yeah, I've been vibing with that, you know?
I love that we're kicking it off with new metal and alt metal already. I'll do mine. Panic Surfer. If you've never heard of them, they're like super funny metal songs about like climate change and like political stuff too. They like TikToks and short videos. They just put out a song. I think it's Everything is Toxic. Which is like about like microplastics and like all the fucking stuff we're putting in our bodies, and it like super aligns with like what Mycopath is trying to do as a band, like be super metal and heavy, but also just like not be about like murder and like demons and like that. There's like really brutal fucking shit going on, like to me and you, like. Why is the fucking rate of cancer going up in healthy people under 50? That's fucking awful.
I want to know that and why it's also going up in pets. It's the same for like dogs and cats. Like not even joking. It's like linear.
So sad.
It's so sad. It's a good one. Anyways, Ken, what's your song of the week?
I've been listening to this song on loop called The Good Ship Lollipop. Total nonsense name. It's by a band called Venomous Concept, which is sort of a metal supergroup. It's the bass player from Napalm Death and the original guitar player from Anthrax, Danny Lilker.
Okay.
It's just I don't know. I guess it's kind of like hardcore metal sort of mix, but it's just really catchy and infectious song. It doesn't have any meaning. It's The Good Ship Lollipop. But it's a groover.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll check both those songs out. Those sound great. So I guess there's just me left. So I have one written down here, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm changing it because there was another song I was listening to a lot this week. I will mention the one I was going to mention, but my song of the week is probably, you guys are going to hate me for this. It's Power Man 5000, Worlds Collide. You guys heard Power Man 5000?
I think I've heard this.
It's Rob Zombie's younger brother's the vocalist for this band.
They're good.
I know this.
They're very like, they were late 90s, early 2000s is when they had a lot of their hits, and they're very, I don't even know, like they're like industrial metal punk, like it's very sci-fi-esque, glam. But Power Man 5000, I've always liked that band, but the song When Worlds Collide, just classic banger. Can't go wrong with it. Don't really have much to relate to it other than just I like the song. I think it's got good riffs, and I think the vocals in it are top notch, and really just like that song. The song I was gonna mention, totally opposite spectrum. is Suicide Boys and Germ, so hip hop / rap, and the song specifically Center Core Nevermore, which I guess has been out for a while now, but I had not heard it until this week, and really enjoying that song. But if you haven't heard either of those, check them out. Both vastly different. But anyways, those were the songs of the week. But I kind of want to jump into maybe just some questions with you guys, and then we'll just kind of shoot the shit after that. Just talk about literally whatever. I do have a lot of questions in my head that aren't on the paper that I may forget, but we'll just kind of wing it here. So let's just start off like Mycopath. How long have you guys been together? How did you form the band? Was it just kind of happen because you're both brothers and musicians, or kind of like walk us through that and like maybe when the band formed, like what year, how long you've been doing it, kind of deal.
Yeah, it's sort of been a lifelong thing for sure. But Mycopath, like us writing music for this band, that's sort of been pretty much since COVID, so about 3 years.
Okay.
Is when it really started. We both played instruments when we were kids and played in bands and wrote songs when we were, in middle school and high school. But we took a little break when we were in college, and then when COVID happened, I think Ken just sort of started like sending me songs. He picked the bass back up and he just started sending me shit, and I was like, recorded some shit on top of that, and like before long we sort of had like a couple songs coming together, and yeah, that was really the start of it.
That's awesome. So Mycopath, what does it mean? Like, what's the origin of the name? Did you guys who came up with it? Like, what did it come from? I'm assuming maybe mushroom related, because when I looked it up, it was an enemy in a video game. But I've tried to like do some research on Mycopath, like what it means, what it is. So you guys just want to kind of dive into that?
So I came up with the name. Paul originally wanted to call the band Detrital Rebirth, which is going to be the name of our first album. And I just thought that was too like technical death metal sounding, too aggressive.
Here's my problem. Most bands that have 2 words in the name are hard, I feel like it's just hard to like remember in a way, whereas like you just have 1 word, short, preferably not super long, like I feel like that kind of
that was my
more.
thinking exactly. So I was just toying around with like the ideas of like detrital, which is like it means decaying, and then rebirth, like coming back to life.
Which would make sense with the environmental related stuff that you guys, talk about in your songs, sing about.
Like mushrooms are detritus organisms. They break things down. So thinking of mushrooms, and then I just thought of like psychopath, like crazy. Like I took psychedelic mushrooms and I'm going crazy. And I just was toying around with ideas like that, and I just combined myco, which the root word means mushroom, and psychopath, which means crazy. Just changed those 2 letters at the beginning, and I thought of that.
I think
and
it
I'm
sounds
like,
great.
It's a great name.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, when I was looking it up, I'm like, okay, it's mushroom related, and then like the second like link was like some Japanese video game where there's mushroom enemies called Mycopath.
No.
And
shit, that never came up for me.
Yeah, or something like that. It was something super close to it. And I'm like, maybe they just like played this Japanese game when they were kids or something. I don't know.
Maybe that's a better story. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's good. Thanks for explaining that. So I just want to say, like, I've listened to. I mean, I haven't watched every single video on your YouTube channel. I listened to every song, but I've listened to a few, and I've watched other videos that weren't related to it. And I have to say, I do like your guys' content. I like your guys' music. I think you guys what you've released so far in succession, whether it's been recorded in order, I'm assuming you guys have improved quite a bit. So you guys, yeah, like I really do. Because to me, now don't take this as an insult, because people being compared to this band might take it as an insult, but you guys remind me of just like a heavier, like, especially with the vocals. Like you heard the band Cake. They had that like popular song where the dude's just talking. You guys are just like heavier Cake with a purpose though. Because Cake,
I love that.
And like I'm like I dig this shit. Now maybe that doesn't make sense to people listening if you go check out Mycopath, but I was like, dude, this is just like Cake, but it's funny and it's sending a message and it's got good riffs. Like it's great. I love it.
I think we saw Cake back in 2013, and they gave away a tree on stage. Like they just had a big potted tree plant. They just gave it to someone in the crowd, and that's very in our lane.
Okay, sick.
We would steal that idea.
Okay, that's awesome. Jackson, is there anything else you want to add about like their content, anything like that, or?
No, it's just I think I've checked out damn near almost all y'all videos, definitely all the shorts at least. I like it. It's really great. It's new, it's different. I really love me and Paul like that one video.
I
What was
like
that one you like,
the,
Paul?
the
What was that called again?
megafaunal reintroduction song and video. I was like, this is sick,
It's
dude.
quite the mouthful there. I couldn't get that one. That one's sick.
That's where we
great.
got a little technical, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite songs for sure. Just like it's like sort of the Jurassic Park idea, right? Like,
Yeah.
But taking a step further, like maybe like the problem with the world now is that there aren't any megafauna. Like we think we're so great with our big brains.
We have no
but
predators.
One big, strong, like fucking tusked animal, like our day is done.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
Bring back that woolly mammoth. It's over, man.
It's over.
That's where it starts. Yeah. Yeah. What was I gonna say? So you guys mentioned before during pre-show, you guys have played live shows. How many have you done so far? Just one, or?
Yeah, we've only done one show. We've been, for the whole like life of the band, we've lived basically 3,000 miles apart. So it's always just been me and Ken for the most part. So we never really thought we would ever do a live show. But the opportunity came up to play this cool like house show here in Gainesville where I live. And yeah, it came together really awesome. It was in the middle of July or June in Florida, so it was like in the middle of the day, like 90 plus degrees, super hot. But a ton of people came out, and it was a ton of fun. So nice. we hope to do a tour or some more stuff. But we've always sort of had the philosophy of like we'd rather write and record and focus on that than like.
Oh yeah, especially like when you're. I mean, I would assume it's just like when you're in the earlier days of a band format. I mean, like 3 years is long, but not super long. But it also seems like you guys have been touching this throughout the years, like your sound together, which is awesome. But I also think like when you're just like a young band like that, it's time to hit the grindstone in the studio. Get things. Figure out where your sound lies and what sounds good and what doesn't work, right? Because finding out what works for you both is just as important, or finding out what doesn't work is just as important as what works, right? Like sound wise. So that's super cool. But I do assume that like with all your guys' studio time and the time you take, that you guys have probably noticed yourselves, you're improving quite a bit over these last 3 years, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. There's like so much that goes into writing music, and so it just like Ken didn't know how to sing, right? We didn't have a vocalist when we started, and he fucking learned death metal vocals and got pretty good in like a short amount of time.
That's sick. It's that's really impressive. Music is super impressive to me, and especially band. I mean, that's the thing that kind of sucks, man, is like the more modern we're getting, there isn't really bands anymore, like ones that get I mean, like there is, but you know what I mean. Like there isn't like the top of the chart shit right now, unfortunately, is like, which is just like generic hip hop or like, stuff like that. And it's just one person, or it's like one singer, or which is fine. But I really, it's really impressive to me when a group of people can get together, even if it's just 2 or 3, and play instruments in unison and sound good.
It's harder than most people think. And with the whole band thing, I think with AI and music, we're gonna see a lot less bands and a lot more AI produced music, and that honestly scares me a little bit, because I don't think AI can replicate like human emotion when you play music, but we'll see.
That's how we depends on how we engineer it, man. We can make it do whatever we want, I think, eventually. Because I don't think in the future it's not going to be worrying about AI. It's going to be worrying about the people that know how to utilize AI, because they're going to be the ones with all the money and all the know-how and
blah, blah, blah. I think at least at the level we're at now with AI, it's like it's definitely not doing anything beyond what the human mind can do, but it's maybe like amalgamating and taking things together.
100%. So this is gonna be an odd question. Favorite memes? Do you guys have like a meme? Do you have like a meme genre? It could be like a video meme, or just like a picture meme that like a template that you guys really enjoy.
So I did it maybe once or twice, a TikTok of like reviewing environmental memes and ecological memes.
Yeah.
Which is like a subgenre of memes.
Yeah. Like Greta Thunberg and like all
there's all sorts of stuff like that, and some are solid. Like there's like one that's like botany memes on Instagram that's like that kind of rips.
Yeah.
But I also love like anti-environmental memes. There's like sort of right wing or like
Oh, just super ridiculous takes.
yeah,
Put your car
yeah.
battery in the ocean. Easy way to get rid of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just sell your house to Aquaman when it goes underwater.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. How about you, Ken? Anything come to mind or kind of same thing?
I've been watching this guy on YouTube called RM Brown, and he's kind of like my go-to meme source. And he does his show sort of like a drive time radio thing where there's like sound drops. And so he'll just take a clip of someone saying something really dumb and like play it over and over. And now like my head is basically 50 to 75% just RM Brown sound drops at any given time. Like me and Paul are always joking about Pepino Lime Gatorade being the best Gatorade, or Joe Rogan just saying adult babies. Like,
how about that one? I don't know if you've seen the Joe Rogan memes are always great, but that one where, oh man, it was obviously edited, but it was a short like 9-second video of like Miley Cyrus ending a sentence and then him just like like a gorilla like making a ridiculous noise he made on some cast, like imitating an animal. I don't know why. I thought that was so funny. For me, my favorite like thing that's been memed the most is like the show Breaking Bad, dude. Like there is just like an entire network of memes that revolve around that show and Better Call Saul, that universe, that I just think are hilarious. Especially if you've seen the show, then they're nonsensical and they're great. What about you, Jack?
I don't know. I've been watching a lot of memes recently. Just a lot of Tim Dillon. I really like Tim Dillon. I think he's a good podcaster, good meme guy. I can't really think of any off the top of my head too much. I do like the like every once in a while we'll get like movie memes. Like for a while we had TF2. Excuse me, it's not Team Fortress 2. Fucking Terminator 2. Whole different thing. We got a whole meme realm of that, and I like it. Just whatever.
Yeah.
I've been really looking at memes lately though.
Sweet. Yeah. So, Ken and Paul. So where did you guys grow up? Like what state was it? So I know so Paul's in Oregon, Ken's in Florida. Where did you guys grow up?
Is it the way around?
Do I have it the other way around?
That's been true at different times. So we're both from Gainesville, Florida, and we both lived there for a long ass time. Like I lived there for like 24 years. Paul lived there for at least like 23 or 24. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then at one point Paul was out here. He went to Oregon State for his undergrad, and then now he's at University of Florida for a PhD. And I was in Charleston for a little bit, Charleston, South Carolina, and then now I'm out here at Oregon State doing a PhD.
Damn, good for you guys.
Yeah.
Do you want to, what PhD, what's it going to be in? Do you guys want to go into that?
Yeah. So we're both doing, if you can guess it, ecology and environmental related shit.
Yeah.
So I study freshwater ecology, like rivers and springs, and
Sweet.
Yeah, and my project is on plant breeding to make crops more resilient to climate change.
Okay, that's actually freaking sick. I do.
Smart fellas
I
here.
can appreciate the fact that you guys are really following your passion, even though it goes into your music, but also pursuing it outside of your music. To learn more about it.
Honestly, yeah, like starting the band was like I feel like when you work in an environmental or climate change field, it's like it's so slow to like work through the system, right? And it's like I think obviously you got to try, like, and I wouldn't want to do anything else with my job and career, but I do feel like there are like maybe bigger differences and changes to be made through like art and music, or like through cultural sort of things. It's like not as quantifiable, right? It's not like data or whatever driven, but I really have always felt like what if Kanye West like did a fucking song about climate change? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like that, like, or like a big artist, or just to have like something to listen to be like, yeah, the fucking earth is messed up, like, and it's just like good to hear that reflected in art and in the media and in music. Not that like I always want to be like a doomer and just like constantly like live in that like world, but just because it's like it's reality, and it's like I don't know,
doing your part, right? Like what you can do while you're here to potentially sway people. I do really like your point about the art, and that, it does make sense. Is like, if freaking Jay-Z was to come out with some song that was about climate change,
I don't know about Jay-Z, but
isn't he like technically one of the most wealthy people off music ever? Is Jay-Z?
Probably.
Like he's like top
not because
5.
it's good though.
Not because no, like I can't even tell you the name of a Jay-Z song, to be real with you, and I'm assuming a majority. Oh yeah,
Put on for my city.
Yeah,
Skate 3 soundtrack.
well that song's terrible still.
Big Pimpin', which is only good because of UGK, Bun B and Pimp C.
Oh yeah, end. Bun B, man, no, that's classic. Oh yeah, dude.
Who would do a climate change like rap song? Who do you think would be like?
Eminem like, comes to mind immediately.
Like who? Who would do it?
Who do you think would drop it first?
I don't know,
like a whole mixtape, like a whole climate change.
Oh shit, yeah.
I could see. I mean,
mixtape.
I don't know of any popular
Kendrick, maybe?
ones that would. Yeah, maybe Kendrick.
I think Kendrick would be my vote. I could also see maybe like Playboy Cardi like on a level like like just like releasing some album of just like random ass like noises and shit, and be like, but this is about climate change.
It's gonna be an artist we don't expect. It's gonna be like some super hard rapper that's like really popular on World Star Hip Hop, that's got like guns and gangbangers in his music videos, and that's gonna be the dude talking about busting caps in your ass, but also like making sure you recycle. Like
honestly.
There is, I mean, I guess I'm glossing over Pitbull, but Pitbull literally has 2 albums called Global Warming.
Oh, yeah.
Global Warming 1 and Global Warming 2.
So, but I think that's just like a pun about how his music is so hot that it's heating up the entire world. So.
You could be right.
I think I don't think he's popular anymore, but I could see Akon doing something like that. Maybe not necessarily rap, but because he does like a lot of shit for his country, like where he's from.
He's a humanitarian, yeah. Didn't he build a lot of wells in Africa?
Yeah, wells, and like had a road built to like a village that was like pretty much inaccessible before, and like that shit's
gonna be
today.
YNW Melly.
Melly,
YNW Melly is gonna get out of prison and do a PhD in ecology and release a climate change album.
It's gonna happen. What it's gonna be like, Jack, is it might be like Maxo Cream or the Suicide Boys or something that like releases a climate change song, but you can't understand them because Ruby's rapping so fast, so you don't even know yet. All right, so I'm trying to see here if I got any. So any exciting upcoming projects? Do you guys have albums? If so, how many? Mixtapes? Anything like that?
Well, a little bit exciting is our first album, which it's finished recording. It's called Detrital Rebirth, and it's releasing in pretty much exactly 2 weeks, September 29th. That one's coming out.
Awesome.
Before that drops, we're actually releasing our first, I guess Megafauna Reintroduction had a music video, but this is like our first like real music video.
Like, did you have somebody professionally record you guys?
A
friend with a camera that knows the shit.
It's got props. It's got like a concept. It's like it's not just us playing music in front of a green screen. Well, I'll say that much. That's coming out probably next week.
Sick, man. That's sweet.
Awesome. Forward to seeing it.
So the music video is coming out a week before the album, Detrital Rebirth, September 29th. And I'll make sure in the description below for everybody listening, if you want to hear Mycopath, go check them out. September 29th, we'll put everything. Where do you guys usually put your music? SoundCloud, Spotify, majority of places?
Everywhere. Bandcamp,
YouTube.
Spotify.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have too much on SoundCloud, but
gotcha. Yeah, that's more like hip hop and rap. I don't know. I don't really go on SoundCloud. The only times I've been on there is for hip hop and rap that I couldn't find anywhere else. So
that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It's crazy that they almost went bankrupt a few years ago. Do you guys remember that? SoundCloud
and Chance the Rapper bought them, right?
Yeah.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, like he bought them, and then also like they had to introduce ads. They were like, if we don't do ads, we don't exist in like 2 years or something. But yeah, that's sick. We'll make sure all the stuff's in the description below to go check out Mycopath's content and their upcoming projects. I'm excited to listen to it. So is Megafauna Reintroduction, is that on the new album? Okay, is there any of the other songs or a lot of the other songs online there on the new album as well? Okay.
Fire Returns is up, that'll be on there. We just put out Disposable Bodies, a couple weeks ago. That's on there, and then I think Desertification is also up on, and that one will be on there. But then there'll be 5 or 6 other new songs on there as well.
Perfect.
8. No, 6. Yeah, not 8. And yeah, not to disappoint everyone, but Get Out of My Swamp will not be on that album. That's going to be coming out shortly after. We need to get that song out as soon as possible because it name drops the Florida governor, who I'm sure everyone is rapidly forgetting about.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you guys need to do a music video for that one, I'll dress up as Shrek. You can paint me green.
That would actually work.
That'd be cool.
You're offering that like you do that all the time.
No, I mean I just do it. I think it'd be hilarious, to be honest.
He's
with you.
available for rent.
Yeah, I'm available for
I'll do Shrek.
That's actually my side hustle is Shrek.
We do
I
fucking
would see that
birthday
hustle.
parties, fucking weddings.
I think
why
that would
not?
be popular. I think that
Would
be
you have a
popular.
Shrek at your wedding? I mean, it would be
I'd
pretty
be more
unique.
likely to have that than like a clown, right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I wouldn't want a clown.
Well, a clown could make balloon animals and try to make people laugh, but really, I think what they end up doing is scaring children because they look horrifying. They're not happy.
I don't think clowns are ever popular with children ever, but they're
No.
like so associated with it.
It's because of
Can't
the
think of any
balloon
kid that
animals.
has
They're
positive
luring them.
experience with
You want a
clowns.
cool balloon sword? That's like.
It's something that adults think children like.
Yeah. It's like one of those things where they're completely disconnected from how children actually think. Oh, yeah, they love this. They wanted a
Dude,
clown at
clowns-
the birthday party.
They go to a list immediately. Like you're a clown, you're on a list somewhere.
on
So
a
they're watching you.
list.
All your internet activity because you are #1 suspect, dog. Like I don't not trust clowns.
Yeah.
My
Period.
friend used to put on Twitch streams of clowns, like just streaming themselves as clowns.
God, do you
And
remember-
it always gave me very unsettling
Shit.
emotions.
Lock
That's
them up.
that's a subcategory on
yeah,
Twitch.
like, do you remember like
That's
the
a subcategory,
do you remember the
yeah.
clown thing a few years ago, the
Yeah.
Halloween? What?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Ian or maybe a little earlier.
Yeah, like what happened?
There were guys just going out in public dressed like clowns.
and following
Mhm.
people around.
Yeah,
Like,
then one got shot
eerily.
to death.
Yeah, one guy
because
got killed.
Oh, really?
He ran towards someone with a fake prop knife, and they shot him like twice
Yeah.
and killed him. But it was
Holy
ruled
fuck.
self-defense, even though the knife is
You
fake.
know,
but,
in that
you can tell.
situation, like the guy that's carrying the handgun, it's like you would really have to think through, like, is this a real clown trying to kill
Yeah.
me right now, or is this
Where
guy
am I
just
right now?
fucking with me? What are the chances that this is a real clown?
It was Halloween night.
I imagine.
Oh, well, shit.
I
No,
don't
it
know,
wasn't.
like
I don't know about
the
that.
dude's running at
If it
him. He's
was, it'd
got
be worse.
the horn. He's squeaking the horn. He's got a knife in one hand. Like he couldn't take it seriously. Like,
No,
I'd be
how could
laughing.
you? He's being very obvious. This guy isn't murdering anybody.
Yeah, this guy's fucking giving himself away with the horn. You can hear it 3 blocks away.
Yeah, they got the big shoes flopping
Yeah,
everywhere.
Yeah, they're
Shoes,
fucking
yeah.
honking every step he takes.
You never get away with it.
So just I have last few things here before we just kind of shoot the shit. Like, so do you guys, your third band member, the drummer, is he like officially in the band? Is he just kind of like, because you did the live show, you had him there, so kind of like, is he officially in it? What's his name, and like where is he located, and like what's he all about?
Have we added him to the Encyclopedia Metallum page yet, Paul?
Probably not. So he's probably not official on
Yeah.
Encyclopedia Metallum.
We probably should. So the story of that is Paul's friend asked if we wanted to play a show, this house show.
Yeah.
And I just so happened to be hanging out with this musician friend of mine. And he was like, yeah, I play drums. And I was at his place and we were jamming a little bit. And the day that I got the text from Paul saying that he got us a gig lined up, I'd met this drummer and I was like, hey, do you want to do the show with us? And he was like, sure. And he's totally on board. Like, as far as finding band members, like I've been in a lot of bands and dealt with people, and I know it's very difficult to find good band members, but Peter was just like perfect. You know, he wanted to learn all the songs, wanted to play.
He's
He's more
he
of
had
a guitar
motivation.
player.
Yeah.
Motivation, drive, like of all the musicians I've met, Peter has like the most drive of anybody. He has his own music, his own projects as well. Great guitar player, great singer. And drums is kind of like his second or third instrument, but he picked it up fast. He learned all the songs and he wants to be on the next albums. So we're trying to figure that out, get his drums on there too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Shout out to Peter.
Yeah, shout out to Peter, man. That's great when things just kind of fit. It's like destiny is what it seems like. It just happened. You found a guy that, you know,
Mhm.
I mean, obviously not band related, you know, if you go look at our earlier cast, we did have a third host. So we initially, there's 3 of us that would always do it. And we'd occasionally have a guest. It'd be 4, sometimes 5. I think we had 1 5-person cast, maybe once, I don't know. But, you know, he was one of my good friends, still is. It's just, he just didn't have the drive or motivation. You know, Jackson and I were doing a majority of like the legwork. Whereas like when you're in a band, it's like you pretty much have to participate, right? Like you can't just not play your instrument. Like the rest of the band's gonna know when you just aren't practicing when you show up to band practice all together and one person's fucking up and obviously didn't like learn the song, right? With us, it was like, you know, I handled majority of the cast. Jack was doing the shorts, and like we just wanted him to do simple. We had like the lightest load, which was just like post on socials like once or twice a week, upload shorts if he needed to on certain platforms, and stuff just wasn't getting done. And that's kind of why like we just decided to part ways with them, and it really sucked because it did affect our friendship a little bit. We tried to not let that happen, but you know, it's gonna happen. Some people take things personally, you know, and that's just like we still want to find that third person, but we also haven't been as eager to do it. We're just kind of waiting for what happened to you guys. Someone to just kind of like walk in and be like, I want to do this. I'll be here every week. I'll take this part of the workload and you know, help us out finding guests, whatever, stuff like that. The reason why we just kept it just us is because we just haven't found that person yet that really clicks with us too. Because with just Jack and I, it's fine, but you kind of need that third outside opinion of 2 people that aren't brothers. Because like we kind of agree. It's good on a podcast or a show to have that third person that maybe doesn't agree or has a different point of view, right?
I find it's hard to hold the good cop, bad cop balance because we can't both be nice and reasonable people. One of us has got to be kind of loony.
Yeah.
And I usually am the one that's taking that stance where I'm just like, fuck that. And you kind of have to. But yeah, a third host would be nice, but we're not in any rush.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm sure it'll happen one day.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, yeah, that's the last thing I have here for questions is like, what's your musical inspiration? Like, what do you guys take from artists you listen to? Like, what are some popular artists, or maybe they don't have to be popular, any artists really that really contribute to how you guys make your music? Even if it's not necessarily about the music, but just your sound or like the lyrics. I mean, but just your sound.
That's always the hardest question for us.
I bet. Well, hey, I brought up that you guys kind of sounded like Cake. And you guys happen to go see Cake and like Cake, so I'm like, you know, you're doing something right. Maybe you're influenced, just like you're just not thinking about it, you know.
Cake on the brain.
Yeah.
Just running with the Cake thing, I think Cake is one of those bands that they a little bit defy like genres, right? Like
100%.
They're mixing a lot of stuff together, and I think that was kind of our take on metal. Like mix a lot of the popular metal genres. Don't just like go with like the specific. Oh, we want to be a death metal band and just like do death metal by the numbers. Just kind of take it in our own direction.
Yeah, that's
exactly. Yeah. One of my favorite bands is Enslaved. They're a Norwegian black metal band,
I've heard them,
they're pretty progressive. We both really like Psy, Japanese black metal band, very avant-garde, all over the place. And then in terms of like, well, Satyricon, another metal band that I think you can hear a little bit of Satyricon in our music. As well as from outside of metal, we both really like DJ Screw, the Houston rap DJ.
Yeah, dude. Well,
any Memphis rap, Houston, I'm game.
Dude, out of Houston, dude, Paul Wall, man, come on, classic.
DJ Screw, that's awesome.
One deep cut Mycopath fact is that me and Paul used to make rap music, and Paul would make the beats and I would rap. And that was one of our big inspirations was DJ Screw. And just like the way his music is super layered and super slowed down, very bass heavy, very groovy, but then you can just add more and more layers, chop it up. Not that that's necessarily what we're doing with our stuff, but that's kind of the direction we're trying to head in.
Yeah, well, every little bit of influence too eventually works its way into your projects, whether you like it or not. Almost sometimes, right? Like it's just like, oh shit, this does kind of sound like this. Oh, okay, you know, I'm not mad about it. I'm just, you know, surprised, kind of in a way, right?
Yeah. Describing the genre is always a little hard. We're calling it eco metal, which is, you know, doesn't really exist yet, but we'll make it happen.
Point it. There you go. It's yours. You got it.
Yeah.
Eco metal, man. Hell yeah. So when you guys are doing hip hop rap, how long ago was that?
That's a good question. I think we basically were done by the time I was in college, which would have been like 20 15. So
Yeah,
it was
about
probably
10
like
years ago.
2011 to 2015 would have been the golden years. Maybe 2012, 2013.
Any lost recordings out there? What you got? Anything?
It's all still on SoundCloud.
Okay.
But
What's
we're not gonna
okay?
But we're
you
not
can
gonna
tell.
tell
You
you.
you can message us on Discord after. I'll
Oh,
listen
wait.
to it. I
I'll
will put
insert
it
it right here.
It's
Play
a
there.
deep,
Play it right here.
someone out there knows where it is, and they're gonna
They know where it is.
Hold it against you at
Post
some
it.
point.
That's sick. You know, Jackson and I always wanted to get into music in some form or another. You know, from my musical perspective, I did play a few instruments, but it was really only through elementary school to middle school. And I got to high school, I fucked off. I really kind of wish that I really pursued like music more, even if it was choir or something. Because I just look back and regret those are just like wasted. Like I just could have like put my nose to the grindstone and learned something. So I played piano for like, I don't know, 4 years, which I could not even play a piano now. You know, it's been so long ago. That was when I was in elementary school. I played clarinet for 2 years, but that's because the requirement at my elementary school and the middle school at that district was you had to play like 2 years of piano and 1 year of any like I guess would you call it like what do you even call it? What class of instrument is a clarinet? A woodwind? Like what?
Woodwind, yeah.
Woodwind,
all
yeah.
day.
So you had to play like 1 year of any woodwind in order to play at saxophone, which is what I ultimately wanted to do. So I did 4 years of piano. I know, it's stupid. It was like a tiered system. And then I got there. And then I got there and I was like, this fucking sucks. Like, I don't even like the saxophone. It sounds sick, but I hate it playing it. I hate it. Yeah. So, like, I enjoyed playing the clarinet the most. I had a piano, clarinet, and then the 1 year I did a saxophone. I enjoyed the clarinet the most. It was the one I was the best at. Does it really contribute? Like, it's not like the most mainstream instrument, but like I just never picked it up again. But Jack and I want to dabble into music. Jack, like, what's your background on music? Like, did you ever play instruments?
Yeah, I play a little guitar, nothing super good. But I do I think I said before the cast, I do legitimately sing every single day, just after my workout for like 30 minutes. Whether that be death metal growls, which by the way, I'm pretty decent at them now because I've been doing them since I was like fucking 15. So I've gotten somewhere. At least I can do it without ruining my voice the next day. But other than that, I do write poetry again, like every night. And it really, music to me is one of those things that just kind of bleeds out, and I kind of have to like do it. It's not something I can control. I mean, maybe it's the same with you guys, where it's just like it's there and I gotta let it out. So it works out great. But I never produced or made any recordings or anything, just stuff for my own benefit. But yeah, I do write a lot.
That's awesome.
Writing
What's
is
your
what I do.
favorite song to growl? Your favorite death metal song to
I
sing
like
along to?
I like to do, actually, this is gonna sound bad, but it's good. It's fine. I like Stripped, Raped, and Strangled by Cannibal Corpse.
That's a great
lately.
one.
I've been doing that a lot.
They
and-
know
That's good.
who I am.
Yeah, dude, he
Or
knows.
Gutterball,
You know,
yeah.
I come alive in the darkness, and I gotta be real
yeah.
careful where I sing that because people think I'm gonna be a psychopath. You know. Actually, it was really funny. I was listening to that at work, and my coworker comes up, and they're like, "What are you listening to?" I don't know, man. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna tell them that. They're gonna think I'm a fucking psycho. That's the problem with death metal. It's why I like Mycopath.
Yeah.
It's about plants. It's fine. It's not about
still,
murder.
it's still
Cool.
stigma. It doesn't matter what
Pretty
they're.
family friendly.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
super
It's
family
so
friendly. Yeah,
stigmatized.
it's super stigmatized. I've always wanted to learn to scream or growl. Yeah, occasionally every once in a while I'm driving or like I'm just listening to music, I'll do it, but it isn't like good. My favorite song to try and scream to though is The Hammer by Kublai Khan.
Okay.
Cause the vocals in that, he's like, I don't even know how to describe it other than like he's barking like a dog, and I like it. Like he's so like raspy and just I don't even know how to describe it, but just rough. And I really like those vocals, particularly in that song. His vocals in general are super good.
Sick. Yeah, my warm-up song right now is Moonlight Equilibrium, a song from the
That's
band
jam.
on your shirt right there. Yeah.
I was literally listening to that for my workout today.
True.
Covers the whole range. R.I.P. to Trevor's for that as well.
Jack and I
Damn
just went and
shame.
saw them a few months ago.
Oh shit! Without Trevor.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw
How
him
was
with
it?
Trevor and without. It
Yeah.
was
Okay.
fantastic. I mean,
It's good.
obviously Brian, I don't think he kept the speed up as Trevor would, which makes sense. He's just doing it.
Sure.
But other than that, they sound really good. Really fun show. It felt really intimate. Not a lot of people were there, honestly.
Oh,
So it was really cool.
Dude, Terror was like, I'd never heard
Terror's
of the
crazy.
band Terror.
Terror's cool.
And
Yeah.
they like opened or something. I was like, damn, dude, this guy's like 50. The vocalist is like 50. I'm like, this guy goes hard as fuck. He like stage drove and everything.
They do go hard.
Yeah, I was like, damn, like
Wow.
this was good. So I hadn't heard them. I really enjoyed their music, but that was a good show. I really liked that concert. But yeah,
Good show,
Jackson and
yeah.
I are kind of like, as far as music listening, all over the board. I mean, we go to a lot of hip hop. Mainly, it's just like underground rap / hip hop and metal shows. There really isn't like, I saw Guns N' Roses like last year, but that's because I got
True.
free tickets. Like I wasn't gonna go like I won them at work, and I was like, hell yeah, let's go
They
see
still
Guns N' Roses.
play shows.
Yeah,
Dude, it's so fucking old. Mick Jagger's up there falling apart every night.
Yeah.
Little piece of him falls off.
He's
doing good, though.
It was good. I didn't. Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to
that's
see
rad.
go to see Suicide Boys here next week, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, they're actually. So I've seen the Suicide Boys maybe 3-4 times, and we went all the way from like the smallest venues around here to like the one they're doing next week or whatever the one Jack's going to is like Target Field, which is like
Oh yeah.
one of our
Huge.
biggest venues that we had that you could play here. It's a freaking
They're
baseball.
playing
field.
at Madison Square Garden too,
That's
which is
wild.
Damn.
fucking crazy.
So it's
What
like,
I'll say about Suicide Boys is I've been single for a few months here, and I'm on Tinder and Bumble and that.
Yeah.
And by far the most popular favorite song of every girl on
Oh
Bumble
my
and
God,
Tinder
yeah.
is Suicide Boys.
Oh,
by far.
100%.
It's
It's
that
not
one
even
song.
close.
Fucking, I can't even remember what it's called, but I think the number you hung up or dialed is
they-
service, whatever it's called, but it's that one song.
That their music has just like there's probably a 30% of a pie chart that's like those women. I don't even know how to describe those women, but you know what
Rave
comes to
girls.
mind. The rave girl,
Colored
like,
hair.
colored
No,
hair,
yeah.
probably dad issues, like which was
Yeah.
fine.
They all dated
But-
like a stoner boy who put them onto it or
yeah,
something.
yeah, 100%.
Because like 10 years ago, everyone who listened to Suicide Boys was like a dude with a really expensive bong and like a bad goatee.
yeah,
that-
Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
It really was.
yeah.
And now
Now
it's
we
just
get a lot
all
of
the
younger
most
kids.
attractive women on earth.
Yeah. And then like they I mean they're not mainstream, and their sound is definitely not mainstream, but the crowd they're drawing is getting pretty damn close. Like
They're mainstream.
yeah,
Paul,
they're
their
really
last album was top charts.
yeah,
of
like
all
that's
time-
just
of the
fucking
world.
crazy
Like,
to
that's-
me. He
that's
keeps
mainstream,
saying
and
that
that's
to me, and I
fine.
still don't believe it because it's like I was listening to them when they were like only on SoundCloud and didn't have music videos. Like they weren't anywhere else.
It's wild.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah,
The
one thing
progression's
one
crazy.
thing I always complain about Suicide Boys, and I'm sure you guys won't do this now that I've told you not to do it. I don't like how they use backtrack and vocals. Sing your fucking lyrics, sing the song, you're rapping. It's not even that hard. You guys have
Yeah.
to play instruments and sing. That's hard as fuck. All they got to do is rap and not have a backtrack and vocal, and it just really
Oh.
peeves me. It just seems
Yeah.
lazy to me. when
It
you're
is
that
definitely
caliber.
very challenging to rap live like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Most guys I've seen rap use a backing track, but I will shout out my friend from Charleston, Kai the Czar, who in his live performances doesn't use a backing track at all. His songs are all fast as hell, and he's a really good underground rapper.
Okay.
Like
He's Kaiser on SoundCloud, Kaizer.
Okay.
His album I Exist, great album.
Hell yeah, I'll have to
And
check that out.
and I don't want to be harsh on like newer bands that do it because that's fine, or hip hop artists. But when you're at a caliber level like Suicide Boys is, where they're millionaires, like come on guys, you can practice for 6
Yeah.
hours a day, right?
I
Like,
wonder
these-
why
these-
they do it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing that really irked me about them is, so to me, and this is just my opinion, is every time I've seen them, which was like spread out, different years, whatever, they almost sounded worse each time I'd seen them. But like that also like probably comes with fucking, I don't know, playing a million shows. Like it's got to be like very like it's hard to keep that pop, that
Toll.
frazz, right? But also like the thing that always bothered me is like my first show I even saw them, which was a super small venue called The Myth here. Ruby to Cherry and Suicide Boys, he's usually the faster one, like he'll have like sometimes super fast verses that are pretty much incoherent to most people. He would just acapella those super slow live, which was kind of a letdown. I had never seen any of his fast-paced songs live where he actually rips the entire line as fast as he can. But that being said, like I don't really expect him to, but it would be cool to at least see him try. And I'm sure he's done it at other shows, and maybe it just so happened he didn't do it in any of the ones I went to.
Mhm.
But that was always a bummer where it's like, damn, man, I really wanted to hear that verse like in its full, like in person. But I don't mind backtrack all that much. I honestly, yeah, I don't know. I don't mind it all that
I don't know.
much.
I just caught Primus on their Tribute to Kings tour, and just seeing them play, I'm like, oh man, they just raised the bar so high on what I want to see live. I don't think a lot of bands can fucking capture what they're doing.
Yeah, we almost.
Me and
went
Paul
to that
were
show,
getting
right?
into a little. Me and Paul were getting into a little thing about Primus because he's going to
Okay.
see them at Halloween
Oh,
in a
nice.
couple months.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I
I'm
saw
kind of a
that.
Primus hater, honestly. Well,
I like
I
Primus.
am a bass player, and everyone's like, "Oh, Les Claypool, he's the
Yeah.
best," and all that. And I'm like, I'm more of a Victor Wooten guy.
Okay. All right. I was gonna ask. Okay. I like Geddy Lee personally.
So excellent.
Okay.
He sings and plays the
If
bass.
he
though,
brings
that's
up Rush
awesome.
one more time, I'm cutting the show. No, I'm just
We're
fucking-
Rush only
You
cast.
get 3 Rush references.
I actually like
yeah,
Rush.
figure
I
out.
just really enjoy shitting
No, he
on him
doesn't.
about it because he doesn't stop talking about it.
Yeah, we
One of
guys are
these days-
basically in Canada, so
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, we're right there,
Yeah.
honestly. Yeah, I was gonna say earlier, like, it's kind of different. You guys probably never had to shovel snow, right? Like growing up. Yeah,
no.
absolutely not. Oh my God, I was born with the snow shovel. Like,
Wow.
God, this last winter, I think we got like 250 inches of snow. It was fucking brutal.
Oh
man.
my God.
He has a I live 2 hours from him, so I live like by the capital
Oh.
in the Twin Cities, and we grew up in Duluth though, where he is, which is 2 hours north. It's if you look at Lake Superior, how it kind of juts out, it's literally like right on the tip of Lake Superior. It's like a hill city.
That's cold as shit.
Oh, dude. So that's the
So
thing
cold.
is like the difference between how much colder it is, the 2 hours north, and like how much more snow they get from the lake effect and the wind and shit is like, it's insane. Like this summer there was a day I texted my dad. I'm like, Dad, it says it's 99 degrees right now, but feels like 106. It was like super humid, and just so hot. And he's like, yeah, it's 55 here with a cool breeze, like 2 hours north.
It literally like that.
Like,
Gainesville's winter is like maybe a month of like 50 or below, and then freeze like once or twice.
yeah.
It's really, really nice. And then the
It's
rest of
humid.
the year, it's just 100 degrees.
See, I don't know if that's worse. I can't tell because I've only lived in the cold, and I could tell you it's not fun at all. For those 9 months, you were just inside, but also it's
Yeah.
probably so hot. I think if I went to that environment, I'd fall apart. But I do have a lot of humidity where I am right now, so they might hold up okay.
I think you can get used to either one, but they both have a downside for sure.
The summers out here in Oregon are incredible. It's just so beautiful. Perfect weather all the time. Clear skies, no rain. It's great.
I also don't have to worry about my house getting uprooted in the middle of the night, my fucking hurricane or something.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I might get snowed in and freeze to death, but
True.
at least I'm not in a hurricane. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gainesville's also pretty protected from hurricanes because it's right in the center.
Okay,
we
nice.
we do get them sometimes, but they're never bad when they hit Gainesville. The hurricanes are more like on the coasts, I guess.
Yeah. You talked, I think it's in there, like, no longer feeling sympathy for victims of natural disasters.
That's
As they live in
Jackson.
Florida, yeah.
I was
That
like,
is funny.
like, that is literally like the coast of Florida. Like, it just, I mean, they're like the one that just happened. Like, sure, it hit an area that like rarely gets hit, right? It's like this is like not like southern Miami or like one of the islands where it's like every 5 years you can expect to get wiped off the face of the earth. But still, it's like, I don't know, like
You live on the beach in
Stop
Florida.
on the
complaining.
beach
I
in
don't know.
Florida. It's like it's not outside the realm of possibility,
Yeah.
and like and people die.
It's
like,
almost
that's bad, but,
guaranteed
like,
to happen at one point. Yeah.
You could also consider not living there, like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
sure,
why
the
are they
weather's
even-
great,
Yeah.
Why are they even rebuilding Fort Myers at this point? I mean,
Just leave it down? It's done for.
So
Yeah.
I'm assuming you guys probably agree that like you've noticed the increase in like hurricanes and severe natural disasters. Do you think that's related to climate change? Like, I mean, obviously it's climate changing, so yes, but like, you guys see that correlation as well? I mean, I heard that, I've seen that a lot, I've noticed that a lot. Sure as hell, a lot more hurricanes now and shit like that, earthquakes, whatever, than when I was younger.
Yeah, I mean, That Florida definitely just had like the hottest summer ever in Florida, and
Wow.
it's like obviously it's always hot in Florida, but like it's like that King of the Hill where it's like we live in Texas, Dale. If it gets 1 degree hotter, I'm gonna kick your ass. And it really is. It's like that one more degree. I think like yesterday or a couple days ago, the dew point, which is like really like the measure of like how fucking soupy it is, it was like 75 degrees, and that was like I walked for 15 minutes across campus, and it's like this is an unlivable environment. This is so like my ass was so sweaty from just walking. My pants were soaked. Like this is how can we live in this if it keeps getting hotter?
Yeah. Well, we have to say Jack and I got it prime up in Minnesota. You boys will be flocking up here real quick.
Yeah.
Dude, I always say when I'm cold, I'm like, there's no way our ancestors crossed the Bering Strait when they did. It was an icy tundra. They would have froze to death. And I just get so angry where I'm like, no one should live in this fucking hellhole. And I'll be freezing. Dude, you go outside and your eyelashes freeze together and you're like, well, fuck. That's awful.
Oh my God.
That literally, dude, like nostrils freeze. It's crazy when it gets like super cold here. Like you'll inhale and you can feel ice in your nose because like your nostril, your hair just freezes. It's fucking bizarre.
Miserable.
Yeah,
that's horrible.
That sounds way worse.
If you've ever had it, it's the weirdest feeling.
It's super weird feeling. I couldn't tell you other than to step outside when it's -30 with like a 20 below wind chill. Like,
oh my God.
Still don't wear winter gloves. Still on that.
I wear gloves. As I get older, I've become my body just hates the cold more and more. But all right. Aside from climate, all the other fun shit we already jumped into. Any movies? You guys movie guys? You watched any good movies lately? Anything I should know about that I should check out?
I think I'm probably more the movie guy. I will give one recommendation. It's kind of old at this point, but there's one called Red Rocket that I really like.
Okay.
Great movie.
I haven't seen it.
You seen that one?
Oh yeah, great.
Yeah, it's got Dirt Nasty, the rapper, is the star.
Yeah.
And honestly, dude, that guy should have been nominated for an actor for that film. Like,
Really?
he's so good in it. Yeah, he blew me away. He plays a male porn star who like is returning to his small town in Texas.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to like get his life together. And he's just the biggest scumbag you've ever seen, but he plays it so perfectly. It's directed by the same person who did The Florida Project, who's just really good at depicting like poverty in the South.
Yeah.
Great movie.
What we need is a Three Loco comeback. Him, Andy Milonakis, and Riff Raff.
Yes, that's the climate change mixtape.
Yeah, dude.
Actually, there we go. That's perfect. We overlooked them.
Yeah,
Three Locos coming back.
Yeah, dude.
Honestly, like I want to see Riff Raff in a serious role like that. Like they fucking snubbed him on Spring Breakers. He should have had the James Franco role, but he probably would have done a better job.
Yeah.
And he's probably less of a piece of shit than James Franco too.
As much as memey as Riff Raff is, I actually enjoy a lot of his music. Like I do like Riff Raff.
Maybe we should show you our old rapping.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Riff Raff.
Like that.
Like Riff Raff. Yeah, hell yeah. So as far as performances, I watched this movie literally last night. It's the new BlackBerry movie, the documentary on the BlackBerry phone, the company, how it started. And, you know, I'm an IT guy, so like tech shit like that like geeks me out. I like watching those types of like movies, stuff like that. And I don't really watch many documentaries, but this one caught my eye, especially because you guys know who Glenn Howerton is? He's in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's Dennis. He's like basically the sociopath. Like he's crazy.
Yeah.
So I did not expect him to be in this role, but he plays a pretty serious role in this movie about how founding the BlackBerry, how it was created, and how it literally was like the top phone for years, the first like smartphone basically ever made, and then like the downfall of that company and how fast it like over 10 years just dropped, you know, and like the things they face as a company. But yeah, so he's in it. And then Jay Baruchel, who's been in a lot of movies too. I don't know if you know who he is. He's also one of the lead guys in it. It's a super good, just like, it's even like a comedy because like they try to make it kind of funny. It's a good movie. So if you're looking for like if the BlackBerry is maybe not that interesting as a phone, as tech, but it's super cool to see like how far other companies have come and how they linear path like alongside others as far as like creating basically the first phone, which is pretty gnarly. The first phone that could send email. They considered like the first smartphone is like the first phone that could send and receive email, basically.
Yeah. My friend Ryan used one up until this year, I think. And then he broke it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
How do you break those? I thought they were indestructible. Wasn't that their whole selling point?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
get another phone.
It must have been 10 years old at that point. And then he got one of the touchscreen phones that flip because he needs
yeah.
he needs something old school about it,
okay.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know,
10
man.
years, you just a stiff breeze will take that thing out.
Yeah, those foldable phones. I don't know. I'm not huge into them. The only one I think that looks cool that I maybe consider owning is like the Motorola Razr Flip, because they literally just took
that was like pretty peak phone design.
Yeah, because they took like a sick phone already that hasn't been around for years, and we're like, let's make this even sicker and just make it foldable, but it like looks the same almost. I think those are sick.
Mm-hmm.
Still not sold on them though. I'm not willing to spend like $2,000 for a screen that's gonna break like 4 years probably. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, so I don't really even know what to talk about next. You guys into MMA? You guys into sports? Do you guys watch any sports? Follow any sports?
I played lacrosse for like 10 years.
Okay, that's sick.
I was like big into that. So my favorite sport is lacrosse, which I know is very weird and niche and nobody else knows about it. But
do they have like pro lacrosse on TV? Like I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Yeah, they do.
They do. So there was originally Major League Lacrosse that was owned by the guy who did Body by Jake, which is, I guess, like a workout company.
Okay.
Like a fitness company. And then the star player from Major League Lacrosse was like, screw this, we're not getting paid enough. So he started his own league and took all the Major League Lacrosse players. Eventually, they all left and joined the Premier Lacrosse League, which does like a WWE style thing where there aren't like local teams. There's just like 4 or 6 teams or whatever, and they all travel around and play all the games in a different city every week. So that's what there is now. And then there's indoor lacrosse, which is the National Lacrosse League. Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's sick. How about you, Paul?
And that's as much as I can talk about lacrosse before everybody gets totally bored by it.
Hey, I think lacrosse is sick. It's just
it's metal.
It's actually pretty it's actually pretty big up here. Like they have a lot of like regional teams up here. It's actually pretty popular. Yeah.
I liked it the ancient version where they play with rocks and it was a forest like 4 miles wide. You just play through the forest. Games would go on for days. You get hit in the face, no padding, you get hit in the face with the rock, you're out. Game over.
Should be way more day-long sporting events.
Right, I agree. There should be.
And each player has like a personal drone that follows them around, like third-person view.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We can absolutely. I mean, we're going into Hunger Games territory, but
yeah,
I think we should. We
can touch that.
So, sports. How about you, Paul? You play anything ever? Did you follow anything?
I tried to play some lacrosse because I can, but I sucked. And but I don't follow anything closely. I am here in UF, so it's all Gator football, college football right now. But yeah,
Oregon State actually has a better football team than University of Florida right now.
Interesting. Yeah, I never like played organized sports. I was like a skater kid. I used to skateboard a little bit. I don't do that anymore now that I pay for my own medical bills. I followed because I used to get fucked up all the time. Like, I mean, like when you're younger too, like you are just, you don't think about consequences as much as you do when you're older, and especially like knowing your body as you get like comfortable with it. But
definitely same thing with lacrosse.
Yeah. And I followed football off and on. I'm not following it this year. I didn't really follow it last year. I'll watch the Super Bowl, because it's just something to do if I have nothing going on that day when it happens. But other than that, lately, I follow MMA, specifically the UFC. I follow it a lot. Like I'm talking, I watch like every event, like every Saturday. That's my Saturdays. I'm usually in this Discord and just hanging out watching UFC. And if anybody wants to come in here and watch it, come shoot the shit, chat, watch it. That's what I'll do. But I also, I haven't, in the last few months, I've taken a break, but I've been boxing. I started boxing in January. And that's been really fun. Jackson's been doing it longer than I have. He's pretty good. Yeah.
I've been boxing quite a while. Actually, boxing for the cast, but I've been learning elbows and kicks. And I tried to do a switch kick today, and I ended up on the ground.
So
It was
that's when
bad,
you
dude.
basically you're gonna go throw the one kick, but then you switch to the other one like last minute. So
Oh,
you're gonna throw the
yeah,
other leg.
that is one. That's like a question mark, but I was doing switch stance. So in one stance, I
Oh,
kick
okay.
that, then pretty much a head kick, and I can get up there. But I rotated too much, and I ended up on the ground, and I boxed on concrete with like a little pad, and I winded myself so bad, dude. The thud that I made when I landed on the ground was audible, and I just busted my shit. I was laying there wheezing for minutes. I was like, like just exasperated because when you fall, you're just on the ground, and you're just like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
So that really hurt. My left leg is bruised. It's bad. I can't show it because it's like on my thigh, and we get banned for nudity. But it's fucked up now. So that's been going good.
Yeah, we're
But
basically like slowly prepping for like once Gutterball hits it big, we're gonna have to YouTube box. So we're just starting
Okay.
now.
Yeah,
We're just getting
that is
prepped.
where all podcasters wind up.
Yeah,
is
it's
in the
all.
octagon.
It's like either in the octagon or in the ring, bro. If it's going in the octagon, I'm gonna need some more time. 'Cause,
Yeah, a little
god
bit.
damn, when you start like that's why MMA to me is like so interesting. Really why I like it, because I only found it like 3 years ago. I was never a WWE guy growing up. I never watched MMA growing up, like early days UFC. It was like 3 years ago. My buddy came over one time. It's a boxer. He's like, check out this MMA fight. It was a UFC fight, and I was just hooked from that day. And the reason why is because team-based sports to me are super, like, they're cool, they're awesome. I appreciate that people can have like follow that, and there's organized sports, but in a sport like MMA or boxing where there's no one to blame but yourself if you lose. Like, sure, you can contribute to your coaches, whatever, but like at the end of the day, you're the one in there when the cage closes. Whatever, it's whatever happens, right? That's why it was always interesting to me, is just because like got all these team-based sports. It's like, oh, that one guy could have fucked up, this other guy could have fucked up. Whereas like
True.
this, it's like you are the one that's accountable. Like you get knocked out,
Yeah.
it's because you got, you didn't defend yourself, or you fucked up, something happened.
Yeah.
Which is why
And there's no
MMA
like
is just
fall
hooked
or like you don't have to like
Yeah.
kick.
Yeah.
Right. You're literally just like, am I going to get knocked out or not?
Yeah, or submitted, and that's why like MMA is awesome, because it isn't just kickbox. I mean, it's everything. It's boxing, it's kickboxing, it's Muay Thai striking, it's clinch work, it's wrestling, it's grappling like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or combat sambo. Literally, it's MMA, mixed martial arts. It's literally anything you can combine all into one, which is why I love it so much. Super hooked on it, and I'm a huge nerd, so that's why I'm like really just talking about it so graciously, because I fucking love it, dude. It's just like that's my Saturday. And when there isn't a UFC event, which is pretty rare now because they've gotten so big, they can have one every Saturday, whether it's like just a fight night or a pay-per-view. When there isn't one, I'm like, damn, dude, what do I do on Saturday? I need to fucking get a life, like other than
Always ask me, and like I'm out. I can't watch UFC for 8 hours every Saturday. I wish I could. But can't.
And like, don't get me wrong, lately is like the first time in the 3 years I've started like getting into it that like, I'll miss a fight here and there. I won't pay as much attention if it's something if people I don't really know or care about all that much, but that's been my jam. If you guys are ever interested, Saturdays in here. Got nothing going on.
Yeah, I never have really followed it ever, but maybe now's the time to start.
Yeah. Check it out. It's I can show you some classics. Cause watch, like you'll come watch it with me one time, and it'll just be like the most boring, shittiest fights ever. Because that happens sometimes. Sometimes you get some bad nights where it's just like the entire card is just like nothing's really happening.
Mm-hmm.
The way it goes.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Jackson, you got
Can
any? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, can I just touch on, because I know you guys wanted me to bring it up, the time I accidentally smoked spice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let us know.
All right, this was awful, and obviously I didn't know I was taking it at the time, and I do not condone spice. For those that don't know what spice is, it is one of the worst drugs known to man. I don't even know the scientific reasoning behind it, but it's also known as fake weed. Looks very similar to weed. They sold it in gas stations up until like 5 years ago or something. It's pretty recent when spice was banned. But we were at high school. Of course, I smoked it at high school, so that was great because I was doing my bad kid phase. And it just happened to be on career day. And career day is like you dress up as what you want to go as for your career. And who did I dress up as that day? none other than Ruby Da Cherry, because I was like, oh, I love Suicide Boys. So I had full FTP. I'm talking FTP pants, shirt, hat. I had the face tats. My friend drew them in Sharpie. Dude, this sounds so cringe. I hope those pictures don't come out either. Maybe I'll insert a picture. So I had the face tats, FTP. I think on the shirt it said fuck, just blatantly just said fuck in high school. So I got accosted by teachers the entire day. But I go out during lunch. We're thinking we're smoking weed. And by the way,
We're
the
thinking
person
we're smoking weed.
Yeah, but it's not. The person I smoked weed with, she's a girl, and guess what she does now? She's now a porn star. So that tells you what kind of person she is. There you go.
Is
So
she a porn star or is she an OnlyFans girl?
She's an OnlyFans girl. Star is very generous with that. Yeah, I think 20 people, and one of them is me. I've seen all their videos. Yeah, so that's the type of girl that spiced me, and I was so fucked up, guys. I don't even know where I was, honestly. I think I was in another planet. There's videos of me walking in the hall like a spaceman, where I'm just kind of like fucking Scooby-Doo villain, like looking around. There's like a video. I was on the school Snap story, walking like 10 feet in an hour, and it was the worst experience of my life, and I got accosted the whole day because they were like, why you have fuck on your shirt there, bud? What's up with that? And I'm like, man, I'm tripping, man. I don't even know what's going on. You're not even real.
Nightmare.
It was the worst time of my life. I ended up getting in trouble later with my parents. They didn't know I smoked spice. They just thought it was weed. I didn't want to tell them, hey, Mom, I smoke spice. It's actually not weed. So.
Mom, it's legal.
Actually, Mom. Yeah, it's even worse. It's spice. No.
They made it in some Chinese basement.
Yeah, it's a Chinese man grew it. Yeah, no, I was fucked up for the rest of the day. I was sweating bullets the whole time. It was awful. Also, on that day, it just happened to be, I sit in the front row of health class, and the health teacher knows when people are fucked up. It just happened to be a guy in a wheelchair presenting, and he asked me, he's like, so what's up with all this FTP? And I was so fucked up. I'm like, and I got up and walked out of class. Just like straight up. And because I was so fucked up. And this is when I was like,
worse.
This was like, it could have been worse. This is when I was like 15 or 16, but never again. Now I know what I'm putting inside my body, and spice is some bad shit. Stay away from that.
I could
Lucky
imagine
it didn't fucking kill me.
Every health class had that staple chart on the wall where it showed all the drugs and like the class. I don't know.
Yeah.
My health class where it showed like the felony or like how much jail time you could do or the amount. And I bet you it would have been really funny if he asked you about that and you just pointed at like spice on the fucking wall.
This one, no. And it's funny because I didn't know it was spice because I didn't do a lot of drugs at that time. But my really good friend Glenn was doing the same stuff I was. So I'm like, well, it can't just be normal. This is not how normal people act. That was awful.
You guys got any?
That's my spice story. Don't do spice.
You guys got any horrible drug stories? Or maybe of people you know?
Well, I had a friend who got really messed up from spice, had to like go to the hospital and shit. So you don't want to mess around with that stuff. I don't know if you can even get it anymore. But
you can get something.
Something similar.
I have some right here.
Why did they make it so strong? Like I feel like they didn't need to make. Like it would have been normal if it could have just been like a normal level of fucked up. Like they could put a little less like bleach or whatever the fuck they were putting on it.
Yeah, I don't even know what the chemical makeup is of that shit, to be honest with you.
It's called K2. The chemical is called K2, but I don't know. Like I've heard it's a little different in every batch, and that's what leads to like people getting messed up. I feel like they made weed too strong too. I don't know if this is a controversial.
Dude, I think you're correct. We have gone too fucking far. Okay, we have gone too far.
90%.
Well, I can't.
How much higher can we go? We can go 99% pure. We go crystal meth pure.
Obviously, like concentrate and shit is like over the wall for me now. Like I can't do this shit. But like even just like regular flour now, it's like, dude, we have like engineered this too well. Because it doesn't matter now whether it's indica or sativa. It doesn't make a difference. I'm disabled. Like I can't do anything.
The weakest you can get is like 20% now. It's like, it's
like,
insane.
holy shit. Yeah.
As a plant breeder, the two biggest mistakes plant breeders ever made were making weed too damn strong. We need to bring back mids, and making jalapenos less spicy. Like now everyone's like, I want a spicier jalapeno. I love the flavor. But if you know anything about peppers, like 20 years ago, jalapenos used to be way hotter, and then
Really?
people bred them to be less spicy for the American palate.
Interesting.
And now spicy food is like super popular now, and they're like, everyone's like, I want a spicier jalapeno. I've had people tell me like, oh, you grow peppers? Like, is there like a spicier jalapeno? Like, you just need to go back 20 years. They used to be a lot hotter.
That's interesting. Jalapenos to me are so hit or miss depending on how spicy they are. It also, I think it depends on like what you're eating, because usually it's added as a garnish or it's on something. You know, you don't add a lot of it. But like I straight up have had jalapenos where they taste a little sweet with just a little bit of heat, and maybe they were pickled or something maybe differently. But then like I've had some that are just like, Jesus Christ, like what did I just eat? Like I am white. Like sometimes I think fucking Dr. Pepper is spicy. Like it's just like, you know, like it's like, this is like too much. Like I thought this was supposed to be like like you think jalapeno, you think like, oh, like hot, but not like not crazy, you know. I swear I've had some jalapenos where it's like ghost pepper level, and I've tried like a ghost pepper thing, and I'm like, what, you know, it's crazy. I don't know. Interesting how.
Hey, yeah. Did you hear about the kid that died from the one chip challenge?
No, really? Someone died from that shit?
Yeah, it happened like a week or so ago.
I've done that. It's not fun.
The one chip challenge is like a big tortilla chip that's covered in like Carolina Reaper or ghost pepper powder.
Is it blue or is it red? I know there's a blue
couple
one.
of them.
Yeah.
I took the red one. The blue one is
okay.
Yeah. Goldface took the blue one.
Yeah,
yeah.
Did the kid die of the blue or the red?
Let's see. One chip
it's
challenge.
Like the Matrix.
It happened like somewhere in Massachusetts.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
You broke out of the Matrix.
14-year-old kid, yeah. I really want to like do the one chip challenge now that I know someone died from it, because that will really make me feel cool.
I'll try it. I tried the
If
hot
I did
one
it
sauce.
and I don't die.
Oh. What is it? Like a heart attack or just like?
Let's see. So he ate the chip. He was at school, and then he had to leave school. He had nausea. Let's see.
Just vomit to death or something?
It had to have been heart related, I would assume. Like, I mean, what
They
else?
still haven't released the exact reason for the death.
Oh, okay. Maybe there still needs to be an autopsy.
Weird.
It's only been a week.
He smoked spice, then ate a one chip. The one chip. It was that. Spice didn't kill him. It was
I think that would fucking do it to anybody. Honestly.
No, we had a guest, Goldface Money Wash underground rapper.
Oh my gosh.
He has a video where he eats the blue one chip, takes 15 tabs of acid and raps.
Yeah,
I'll
dude.
just show if you guys have seen that. It's pretty funny.
You guys are the second like musical artists we had Goldface. His name is Goldface Money Watch. He does psychedelic underground rap music. He's been around for years, and I've been listening to him since high school. I like some of his stuff. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like any artist that's been around that long, there's some real like what did you just make music, right? He's out there. Like he really, and I can respect that. He really experiments. But yeah, this guy, he was honestly a really hard guest on the show because he was so fucked up. Like he was it was so like he wouldn't stop talking, and then he was holding his mic and he kept dropping it and picking it up. So like
that was the WWE mic guy. Yeah, I told him about that. That was him.
And great. I like Goldface. I would have him on again, but it was interesting. Because he just like there's literally a video of him. Yeah, he does the one chip. He takes 15 tabs of acid and then freestyles for like 20 fucking minutes.
He's wearing a death symbolic t-shirt.
Oh, he's into that. Oh, no. Hold on. His take on that is so funny though. He says, I wear death metal shirts of old bands I don't even like. He doesn't like that. He just doesn't like it. I asked him about it, and I think he said something along the lines of that, where he's just like, I just wear it, but I don't like it. I'm like, what?
All
right, man.
Go check out our show with him. It's interesting.
A guy in my lab was wearing a Creator shirt, and I'm like, oh, do you like Creator? Do you know the song Satan is Real? And he was like, I've never listened to this band, dude. I'm like, well, you gotta go listen to Satan is Real. And he comes back a couple days later and he's like, oh, I listened to it. And I'm like, oh, what did you think? And he's like, I hated it. It was terrible.
You're wearing the shirt. Oh, yeah. I've run into people like that before, 100%. I'm just like, all right, I guess Ryan. I heard that whole
I can't
meme
really
of,
hate, honestly. I think.
no, I don't care, whatever you want, but the whole meme of white girls buying Metallica
Yeah,
t-shirts,
yeah.
not knowing it's a band. They're like, I just love this. It says Metallica, like metallic.
I just made a correlation. The same group of girls that are into the Suicide Boys were the same ones that were into Hollywood Undead when they were in their prime.
Oh yeah,
It's the
that's probably
same.
true.
It's
That
the
is
exact
true.
same. I've seen Hollywood Undead, unfortunately. You want to know? You want to know how fucking weird that lineup was? It was in Duluth. Weird, because it's not.
That is crazy.
Usually they come here to the Twin Cities. It was in Duluth, and it was opening was or not opening. The headliner was oh my god, Avenged Sevenfold, but the opener was Black Veil Brides, and then Hollywood Undead, and then Asking Alexandria, and then Avenged Sevenfold. It was a super weird like lineup, especially with like Hollywood Undead kind of being shoehorned in there.
In like 2010.
Yeah, it's exactly like that's literally. I think it was like
Golden age.
2011 or something.
Yeah.
I think the weirdest show I've been to is actually behind me because I stole that sign from Knotfest right there.
I've been seeing it. Yeah, there's some good bangers on that.
It has Suicide Boys, Tech 9, but there's 2 posters. The other one has Megadeth on it, Lamb of God, and you're just like, what the fuck? You know, why are these bands here? Gojora was there.
Yeah.
It was just
I
so
like
weird.
the rappers who perform with metal guys a lot, like
I like
Main doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it
really
worked.
cool.
People went crazy for him.
Do you
but
guys
very
know
weird.
who Morris Day and the Time is?
No.
Okay,
I do either.
They are like, if you heard the song Jungle Love, I think was their biggest hit, but like Morris Day is like an R&B, like it's like a literally like music not related to rap or metal at all. And up here in the Midwest, there's a huge metal slash like alternative rock, like what do you call it? Like event concert called Warped Tour. I don't know if they do it anymore.
Yeah.
But Morris Day and the Time was at Warped Tour. It was super fucking weird because they're like all like 70. Like it was, and it was, I don't know. Check out their music. I like Morris Day and the Time. They're like more of a funky, kind of like upbeat music, but it was just super weird because I remember like reading, like, you know, like they always have those huge lists of like all the artists, like going from like the top, the biggest, like all the way to the bottom, and I just see like really tiny at the bottom, Morris Day and the Time. And I'm like, what the fuck are they doing playing there?
They probably needed the money.
Honestly, probably. That's like the only thing I could think of.
Not a bad deal.
Well, guys, we're up at about an hour 20 here. Do you guys want to call it a show? Is there any topics or questions you guys wanted to cover quick, or do you think you're all good? I can't believe it's been an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, I went by.
Crazy.
Should we Ken run our merch ideas by you really quick? We need feedback.
Oh,
because
yeah,
we need to make some
absolutely.
shirts
Yeah.
Before we.
So the topic of like people wearing metal t-shirts that aren't necessarily metal fans came up, and I'm a huge fan of that. I think everyone should wear metal t-shirts, and bands should just mostly be merch companies. So in light of that idea, which may be controversial, I'm thinking of, I have a few merch ideas. One is a shirt that says Mycopath, burn churches, not forest.
I like that.
That's
sort of a
actually
reference.
sick.
Norwegian black metal reference.
Are we going to get a back print on the back with like a bunch of people burning alive inside of a church?
Yeah, maybe a
would be
picture
good,
of a burning church.
Yeah,
Right.
Good. You should burn a church, take a picture.
Yeah,
And then well, I probably should have said first the most Mycopath idea is just like Mycopath, extreme metal, extreme climate action. That's kind of the tagline we've been going with.
Yeah.
Maybe an album cover, something like that. So that's like the basic, you know, if you're a big Mycopath head, you wear that shirt. But if you're not, then our third design is it's going to say, you know, the Mycopath logo really small somewhere, and then it's going to say true North Korean black metal, and it's going to have Kim Jong-un's face in corpse paint, like maybe an upside down cross.
Yeah.
Okay,
true
I'm
North
liking
Korean black
that
That's the
one
one
and the
right
first
there.
one.
I think
That's
you
the
got
one,
it.
though. Yeah.
I'm buying all three of them.
Jackson actually has some like Jackson's really like he not like a hype beast, but he'll sometimes pick up clothing and stuff like merch, and he's got like a super rare like Kim Jong-un shirt unopened and a skate deck sealed that's got him on it like riding a roller coaster.
That's rad.
Yeah, and I'm like, you should bring that up sometime,
Well,
Jack.
like I tell people, once he dies, it's going to be worth a lot more money. So I think you should print these T-shirts now, you know, so you can profit off his death later.
Especially if you have like a Kim Jong-il version, that would be even more.
Yeah, you're right.
I have a shirt that says North Korean lacrosse on it, like North Korean national lacrosse team.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
I like your ideas, specifically like the last one and the first one. I think are really good. The church one and the Kim Jong-un ones. We've dabbled into merch, but like we're a podcast, so like we're not gonna grow like nearly as quick as you guys because I feel like music spreads quicker than a podcast. But we are gonna branch out into other content. We do plan on doing some sketch comedy. Have you guys seen The Whitest Kids You Know?
Love it.
Yeah, sketch. Yeah, great, right? We were, watched him growing up, love Whitest Kids You Know. So like we wanted to get into sketch comedy, and I literally just bought a camera like a few weeks ago, and I'm just getting used to it. But we do want to like start branching out into things other than the cast. But there's so many merch ideas we've had. We always thought it would be like really funny to have like a 1-of-1 like VHS tape with like the first episode on it or something, like with like a custom logo. We always thought we try to think of like crazy 1-of-1 shit that nobody else would ever do, which I think is cool. Which is like maybe you guys should consider. Like maybe you guys like maybe one of you guys like plants a bonsai tree right now, and then once it gets around like this big, you like auction it off or something, and maybe it's got like maybe it's got Mycopath on it or something. I don't know.
True. Mycopath orchids.
Yeah, dude, that'd be sick. Or like him being in botany, maybe he can breed his own orchid, like one that's never been made.
I bet you. Yeah.
It's just black. It's dripping. I could see that. That'd be cool. Metal flower.
Yeah. Well, I think like Megadeth's selling wine now, and like
they do
also,
whatever.
like Behemoth makes like coffee. It's like
I've had the Megadeth whiskey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think he has like 4 reiterations of that, but they're good.
What we love about this show is like it's just gutter. It's not even about bowling, but we think it would be funny if we sold a line of bowling balls. Like we partnered with like Rollins or whatever like the popular bowling company is, and get like an actual like Gutterball made.
They probably would. They're probably like, I mean,
I don't care.
Anything to sell some more balls.
Yeah, I mean, I sure as hell I bet you there's a good chunk of people that click on our stuff looking for bowling content and then get pissed when they're about 10 minutes in.
They're like, these guys ain't even throwing one ball. Yeah, I'm gonna wait another 20. They better bowl though. It's not happening. I want to film the cast live on location bowling alley, but I don't know how that'll work with sound.
100th episode, yeah. Special. You would be like on the lane. People are like
throwing balls at us. We had to move. I think that worked really well. In-person studio.
Well, yeah. Anything else you guys want to cover? All good?
That's all I got. Yeah.
You guys want to sign off with anything? Where to find your stuff, and everything will be in the description below too. Everything you send.
Definitely. We're on Instagram, TikTok, X, even YouTube for sure, Facebook, all of that, and then the music, obviously Spotify, basically any streaming platform. We'll give you the pre-save link for the album, and once the album's out in September 29th, share that with you guys.
Hell yeah. Jackson.
Wonderful.
Go ahead.
I just want to say thanks again, guys, for joining us. All the links to their digs are going to be in the description. Check them out. Honestly, they do some great music, and they seem like some great dudes. So it's really awesome. Real quick before I sign off, the last cast got about 300 views, which is overwhelmingly positive, which I really like. So thanks so much for y'all that tuned into that. And that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, Ken and Paul, super pleasure meeting both you guys. I really appreciate you coming on, talking a little bit about Mycopath, your band, your pathway there, and everything in between. We'd love to have you guys again in the future. So we'll make sure we'll reach out to you for that. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Everything Mycopath will be in the description below. Check out their song, Megafaunal Reintroduction. You got to start with that one, I think. I like that one. Mm-hmm. But that was Gutterball 65. Whoa!